In round 12's first return fixture, the men welcomed Monbulk to their home ground at Willsmere Park and made a statement. 3 precise strikes, unrelenting pressure and a flawless 3-0 victory that showed just how well this side can play.
So from playing in both, I felt like round 1 there was a lot of pressure. It's the first game of the season, everyone's up for it, anything can happen. The second time we played Monbulk, they haven't won a game up until this point, and we knew that it was a big opportunity for us to sort of go out there and make a statement and get a biggish win, which it could have been 4 or 5. We just didn't, again, take our chances. However, you know, it was a big 3-0 win, which I think was a fantastic result from the team. The goals are pretty good. I think from Julian, it was a class finish, touch over the top. Darcy as well put one in from a corner, and then myself, first goal of the year, which was pretty cool. Yeah.
Just a week later, in round 13, the challenge shifted. Monash arrived determined to erase the memory of their previous loss. Through every tackle and every surge attack, East Kew's resolve held firm.
Monash is a squad of definitely a difficult outfit to come up against. They were, I think, 8th or 9th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they were below us, but that doesn't represent them as a squad. I think they're a tough outfit, yeah. Where they sit on the table doesn't represent how they are as a squad, and they're definitely a tough game for us. Considering the conditions and the poor Willsmere pitch that we had on the day, I think it was a fair result for both teams. Went into the game with a bit of momentum, and it could have gone either way. Both teams didn't take their chances, as it always happens to be, but we battled it out to a 0-0.
Though the final whistle echoed differently this time, the lessons learned would prove invaluable down the stretch. On the women's side, round 9 brought a fierce encounter with the Boroondara Eagles. Despite their 5th place standing on the ladder, the Eagles refused to yield easily. Chances flew at both ends as the tension rose in the crisp winter air.
I think for us that was one of those games where we'd sort of been cruising through the season and we needed a little bit of a reality check to keep our intensity up. I think having such a low scoring game coming off the back of the games that we'd played before that really showed us that we have to keep our intensity high and that teams are gunning for us. I think that was definitely one of the themes of that week as well.
With the scores level, it was Mia who stepped up and with calm precision buried the penalty that would ultimately decide the match.
One 0 is always a tough score to hold on to. I think getting the goal and getting up really helped us, but there was definitely times where they sort of were making us hold our breath, so I think we were just fighting and waiting for that final whistle.
The Eagles clawed back, pressuring hard to find an equaliser.
When I saw that ball hit the crossbar, I had to give credit. It was a great shot and it was towards the very end of the game, so I think that was one of those moments where it gave us the final push to just get over the finish line and get the 3 points.
A few weeks later, the return fixture took the women out to Monbulk. What began as a cagey affair exploded into a goal fest.
Playing Monbulk for the second time was really fun under the Friday night lights. But I think, again, first time around, first game of the season, the squad looked so different. We were definitely on a different momentum versus coming up against them for the second time and I guess trying to sort of match teams and see how they've changed across the season. I think we've been pretty consistent and they definitely stepped up to the plate, but at the end of the day, we still were able to dominate. Playing Monbulk for the second time was really fun under the Friday night lights, but I think, again, first time around, first game of the season, the squad looked so different. We were definitely on a different momentum versus coming up against them for the second time.
Shoot! Shoot! Sit. Yeah!
One of our struggles is trying to maintain momentum in the second half, and that was definitely one of those games.
Come on, she's 15.
Definitely when we go out a bit further and come across some less civilised people, that's bound to happen. But I think that on the pitch, we really hold it together and make sure that we're focusing on the game at the end of the day. And I think that people like that tend to lose sight on the sidelines that it's just a game.
Just smash it at the goalkeeper's face, man.
Though Monbulk won a brief advantage, through determination, they could not derail East Kew's momentum.
I think our first half was really strong. We're able to really lock in, and then I guess being comfortable on a 5-0 score or 5-1, it really sort of dropped off for a little bit, but it's something that we've worked on and I think that we've gotten a lot better with throughout the season.
And a similar story unfolded in Brighton. With confidence surging, the East Kew women dominated from first whistle to last, wrapping up a 5-0 rout that left no doubt this team is here to play. Returning to the men's side, East Kew now confronts another challenge off the field. With key players sidelined by injury and absences through travel have really thinned the squad.
Definitely a struggle. I think on the weekend from the senior squad at the start of the year, we had about 13 or 14, which makes it tough. And it's not just people going away, it's also injuries too. It's both at the same time, and it definitely does impact the cohesion of the squad because it's not the same team that we played with for the first 10, 11 games. But then again, the players that are coming up, the players that are filling in positions where they don't normally play are doing a good job.
Despite missing several players, they had to push forward as round 14 brought a clash with Docklands, a side scraping to avoid the bottom two.
Coming into a new league, you definitely got to learn the teams that you first. And we first played Docklands, we realised we had the opportunity to score a multitude of goals, which we did. So coming into this second game, I felt like they set up differently against us. You know, they had a defensive structure with 3 across the back, or 5 across the back when defending, 3 across the back when attacking, which for me and Paul as wing fullbacks in that game, which permitted us to have a lot of space on the ball. So we were able to drive and really take it forward.
Early on, it threatened to mirror the tense stalemate of Monash. But East Kew's patience paid dividends.
We should have been 3-4 up in the first half with a multitude of chances again.
As the second half commenced, a moment of quality broke the deadlock.
Lucky enough, we did win the game to a fantastic finish from Julian, which is probably one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Despite a promising run, the road only gets steeper from here. Next on the fixture, a stern test against Albert Park, followed by a showdown with Ringwood City.
We weren't winning games, to say the least. We were struggling to score as well, weren't taking our chances, and that I think was definitely costing us. Our goal difference as well, if we look at the ladder, isn't amazing. I think it's pretty much just 1 or it's 0, so it's bang spat in the middle. And if we want to be a successful team, we definitely need to score more goals and win games consequently. I think where we sit as well is fairly justified considering the teams we've beaten and lost to. Otherwise though, adjusting, I think we've done pretty well up until this point, but there's always room for improvement. We want to stay up, obviously, so we have to have a strong second half of the season.